Mumbai, the city that never sleeps, found itself paralyzed on July 8, 2024. Heavy rains lashed the financial capital of India, bringing life to a grinding halt. Streets turned into rivers, and low-lying areas transformed into lakes. The iconic Marine Drive resembled a turbulent sea. The city's infrastructure struggled to cope with the deluge. Drainage systems overflowed, unable to handle the massive influx of water. In many areas, residents found themselves ankle-deep in water inside their homes. Local authorities worked round the clock to pump out water, but their efforts seemed futile. Public transportation, the lifeline of Mumbai, took a severe hit. Local trains came to a standstill on several routes. Thousands of commuters found themselves stranded at various stations. Amidst the chaos, the spirit of Mumbai shone through, with numerous instances of citizens helping each other. The monsoon season in Mumbai is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it brings relief from the scorching summer heat and replenishes water reserves. On the other, it often brings the city to its knees with flooding and disruptions. For Mumbaikars, preparing for the monsoon has become an annual ritual. From waterproofing homes to stocking up on essentials, residents brace themselves for the inevitable challenges. Historically, Mumbai has faced several major flooding incidents. Since then, authorities have implemented various measures to improve the city's flood preparedness. Pumping stations have been installed, drains have been widened, and early warning systems have been put in place. However, as the events of July 8, 2024 showed, there's still a long way to go. Built on reclaimed land, large parts of the city lie below sea level. During high tides, the sea pushes water back into the city's drainage systems, exacerbating flooding. Despite the challenges, the monsoon holds a special place in Mumbai's culture. The rains bring a sense of nostalgia and joy, reminding many of their childhood days spent playing in the downpour. Street vendors selling hot snacks like bhutta and vada pav become a common sight, adding to the city's vibrant monsoon atmosphere. Commuters adapt by donning raincoats and carrying umbrellas, navigating the city's streets with a mix of caution and resilience. The local trains, Mumbai's lifeline, continue to run, albeit with delays, showcasing the indomitable spirit of the city. Families gather indoors, sharing meals and stories, creating a sense of warmth and togetherness amidst the storm. And when the rain subsides, the city is often treated to the sight of a beautiful rainbow, a symbol of hope and renewal. The monsoon, with all its trials and tribulations, is an integral part of Mumbai's identity, shaping its character and spirit year after year. The morning of July 8, 2024, dawned gray and ominous over Mumbai. The air was thick with humidity, and a sense of foreboding hung over the city. By 7 a.m., the first drops of rain began to fall, quickly intensifying into a torrential downpour. The rain hammered down relentlessly, turning streets into rivers within minutes. Within hours, the city was grappling with severe waterlogging. Drains overflowed, and the water had nowhere to go, creating a chaotic scene. The Western Express Highway was submerged under 3 feet of water in some sections. Vehicles struggled to move, and many were abandoned as the water levels rose. In Sion and Kurla, residents reported water entering ground-floor homes and shops. People waded through knee-deep water trying to salvage their belongings. By noon, several parts of South Mumbai reported significant flooding. Streets that were usually bustling with activity were eerily quiet, submerged under murky water. The iconic Gateway of India stood surrounded by water. Tourists and locals alike were left stranded, watching as the water levels continued to rise. In the suburbs, Juhu Beach disappeared under the rising tide. The usually crowded beach was now a vast expanse of water, with waves crashing against the promenade. The city's education system was one of the first casualties of the day. Schools and colleges struggled to cope with the sudden deluge. By 9 a.m., the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai announced the closure of all schools and colleges. The announcement came as a relief to many parents. Parents scrambled to bring their children back home safely. The streets were filled with anxious faces, all trying to navigate the flooded roads. Mumbai's airports faced severe disruptions. Flights were delayed, and passengers were left stranded, waiting for updates. By midday, over 50 flights had been diverted to nearby cities. The airport authorities worked tirelessly to manage the situation, but the relentless rain showed no signs of stopping. The India Meteorological Department had been meticulously monitoring the developing weather system over the Arabian Sea for several days, analyzing data and satellite images to predict its potential impact. On July 7th, they issued their first warning, predicting heavy rainfall for Mumbai and the surrounding coastal areas. This initial alert was a signal for residents to prepare for the worst. By 10 a.m., they had upgraded their alert to red, the highest level, indicating an imminent threat of severe weather conditions. The IMD's forecast for July 8th was particularly grim, with predictions of relentless downpours. They predicted rainfall in excess of 200 millimeters within a 24-hour period, a volume that could easily overwhelm the city's drainage systems. Additionally, they warned of wind speeds reaching up to 70 kilometers per hour, strong enough to uproot trees and cause significant damage to infrastructure. The combination of heavy rain and high tide raised fears of severe coastal flooding, threatening homes and businesses along the shoreline. The IMD urged local authorities to take immediate precautionary measures, including setting up emergency shelters and deploying rescue teams. One of the key factors contributing to the severe weather was a low-pressure system over the Arabian Sea, which was intensifying as it moved closer to the coast. This system was drawing moisture-laden winds towards the Maharashtra coast, creating the perfect conditions for heavy rainfall and storms. The IMD's warnings extended beyond just July 8th, as they anticipated the adverse weather conditions to persist for several more days, urging continuous vigilance and preparedness. Section 5, authorities spring into action, safety first. As the severity of this situation became apparent, Mumbai's disaster management machinery kicked into high gear. The Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation activated its Emergency Operations Center. By 11 a.m., over 1,000 pumps were deployed across the city. The National Disaster Response Force pre-positioned teams in vulnerable locations. Mumbai police played a crucial role in managing the crisis. They deployed additional personnel to regulate traffic and prevent people from venturing into dangerous areas. Social media channels of the Mumbai police were actively used to disseminate real-time information. The Maharashtra government held an emergency meeting chaired by the Chief Minister. All government offices, except essential services, were ordered to function with minimal staff. The Army and Navy were put on standby for potential rescue operations. Public health became a major concern as the flooding continued. Section 6. Schools out, flights rerouted, disruptions galore. The decision to shut down schools and colleges across Mumbai was one of the first major announcements of the day. The Education Department of the BMC made the call early in the morning. Several schools transformed into temporary shelters. The closure of educational institutions had a ripple effect across the city. Many companies allowed employees to work from home. At Mumbai's airports, chaos reigned supreme. The heavy rainfall severely impacted visibility. By mid-afternoon, over 100 flights had been either cancelled or diverted. Passengers found themselves stranded, with long queues forming at airline counters. The airport authorities worked overtime to manage the situation. The flight disruptions had far-reaching consequences. Section 7. Mumbai's lifeline, local trains and traffic woes. The local train network bore the brunt of the heavy rains. By 11 a.m., services on all three lines were severely affected. Water logging on tracks at key stations brought train movements to a complete halt. Thousands of commuters found themselves stranded at various stations. The railway authorities struggled to pump out water from the tracks. For those who managed to board trains, the journey turned into an ordeal. Many trains were stuck between stations for hours. The railway police and local authorities worked tirelessly to rescue stranded passengers. Social media was flooded with images and videos of railway stations turned into virtual islands. On the roads, the situation was equally chaotic. Major arterial roads were submerged under several feet of water. Section 8. Heroes in the Rain Emergency Services and Good Samaritans. Amidst the chaos and despair, stories of heroism and community spirit emerged. Mumbai's emergency services worked round the clock. The fire brigade responded to over 300 distress calls by evening. The Mumbai police went above and beyond their call of duty. Several heartwarming stories emerged of police officers helping elderly citizens. Local communities and NGOs played a crucial role in supplementing the efforts of official agencies. Social media platforms became a hub for coordinating relief efforts. Individual acts of kindness shone through the gloom of the day. Despite the adversity, the spirit of Mumbai Merijan remained unbroken. Section 9. Waterlogged Streets. A day in the life of Mumbaikars. For the average Mumbaikar, July 8, 2024, was a day of unprecedented challenges. Many woke up to find their ground-floor homes already ankle-deep in water. The morning routine was thrown into disarray as news of closures and cancellations poured in. Those who ventured out found themselves navigating streets that had turned into canals.